Welcome back, everyone, to Dragon Ball Z What If. Hold on. Let me get the scouter going for this one, folks, because we're going to need it. This is What If Frieza Adopted Goku, brought to you by Derek Hugh Simon, Drake Falcone, and Chris X-Ray. Or, sorry, X-Ray, or... Yeah, I'm not sure, Chris, I'm not exactly sure how you do your name. Because it's X-A-Y. Is that X-A or Zay? Because the X on its own has a bit of a Z sound to it. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. But, yes, what if Frieza adopted Goku? Found Goku and adopted him. That is the subject of our next ongoing What If. Now, I say ongoing. The Dragon Ball What Ifs never go beyond maybe once I did like a 10-parter. But they, unlike the Naruto ones, which are so much more dense in terms of a story, they don't really ever, I don't see the need to go into a 10, like multiple parts beyond, like, say, 6 to 7 usually. But let's see what happens here. Anyway, what is the catalyst for this What If to even start? Well, Goku, we know, was sent off off Planet Vegeta as it was being destroyed. And Frieza and his forces just missed him. In the movies, it was actually Cooler who ended up seeing Goku, and he actually would have just killed Goku if he just said, this is Frieza's planet. Let him do it. He's no threat to us. Boy, that aged well, didn't it, Cooler? What if, though, during the massacre, Frieza's like, what a lovely shell! How wonderful! Lord Frieza, what is it, Zarbon? There seems to be a Saiyan pod escaping the planet. Another Saiyan pod, what? And he just goes back in the ship. Should we blow to the sky? Catch it, Zarbon. I want to first see who's in there. And obviously, they catch the pod and get it in there and open up. Yeah, or Lord Frieza just holds up the child. Like, it seems to be a Saiyan child, Lord Frieza. You would just kill it. I don't see why. I mean, I don't know what use it could be to us, after all. He's just kind of holding it there with his abilities. And Goku's just kind of floating and just kind of looks at Frieza and surprisingly says, what's this doing? I think it likes you, Lord Frieza. Kind of grabs his horns. Stop that right now! Get this disgusting little monkey off me! You know, Lord Frieza, this might be an opportunity. And there might be an opportunity, Lord Frieza. What are you talking about, Zarbon? Well, there are only a couple Saiyans left, Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz. I believe while they'll be loyal to you, sir, it won't be out of respect or desire to be your underling as it is with us. They'll be loyal to you simply because they know they can never defeat you. But what if you had a Saiyan that was loyal to you out of its desire to serve you? It wanted to be loyal to you. Can you keep talking, Zarbon? There's an old saying I heard once on my home planet before you blew it up. that loyalty out of fear is one thing, but loyalty out of love and respect is something else entirely. Raising a Saiyan as one of my personal gods? How interesting. Very well, very well. Besides, the worst case scenario is he tries to go rogue and you just kill him. It's a win-win, really. Either I get a loyal monkey, or I get to kill another monkey and get pure joy from that. Either way, win-win. Zarbon, let it never be said that you aren't good, that you don't pull your weight around here. Very well, we shall raise this one as our own. I'll have to be getting used to that, won't I? And so the raising of Kakarot, which they probably, I can imagine maybe like they're saying writing in the pod that actually says Goku's Saiyan name. So they do learn his name is Kakarot. Kakarot is raised as Frieza's subservient servant. And a lot happens here in terms of Goku's story, character, whatnot. We'll fast forward briefly to where we are in the story. Is that Goku is, how old is he? He's the age he's at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, when the series starts. Now, over the years, what has happened? Well, he has trained him as his elite servant. And at first, like Frieza, they just put us gotta just power level monkey. That was a perfectly timed one too, if you could hear that. Shame you could not do for your power level. But Goku is a below average Saiyan. He's only has power level, I believe, 2 at the time. But because they're now putting the effort into training him, he does progress quickly. As he grows older, he goes stronger, he goes more skilled. His Saiyan heritage really does kick in, and he's overly pleased to serve Lord Frieza. He's not quite happy with the genocide part of things. Like, we know for a fact that even without the bump on his head, Goku actually takes after his father, who we learned in Dragon Ball Super was actually uncommon among Saiyans for having actually a good heart as well. So Goku is still by nature a good-hearted Saiyan, but this is all he knows. And Frieza's probably warped the script on him a bit, saying this is how it must be. Individuals who are unworthy or unable to sustain their planet must be conquered in order for us to sell the planet to those who would be more fitting and more deserving to take care of such a world, Kakarot. What we do is important. It's like, of course, yes, Lord Frieza. Yes, Lord Frieza, I understand. And I will serve you to my dying day. Oh, I know you will, Goku. Kakarot, I know you will. That's my boy. Yes, father. And I'll admit, even though Frieza is always going to be a prick, unlike King Cold, who actually, I think, warmth is not the right term. When I did the whole adopted by Goku thing for King Cold, he seemed to be he was cold and ruthless too, but because he was a father out of the gate, there was some level of care he had for Frieza, and therefore he extended that to Goku as well. He found him very useful and very, and he didn't fear, unlike Frieza, he did not fear the Saiyans at all. So Frieza doesn't have that, but he has grown, he's grown quite powerful indeed. Very, but he's no threat to me. Besides, I admit, I've grown accustomed to him, which would probably be the most complimentary thing he could say. I've grown accustomed to you. His way of saying, I love him. He's my baby boy. So, over the years, Goku has, for something, taking advantage of that Saiyan physiology and biology very well, because he's been growing stronger, faster with every fight he loses in training. It doesn't take long until we get to 10-year-old Goku, who can easily beat base level Frieza soldiers, who are about 2,000. You'd be looking at a Goku who's probably somewhere around 3,000-4,000, conquering planets, training off and on with Zarbon and Dodoria. Eventually, when he gets to the age that he is at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, his power is well past Dodoria and Zarbon's, who admittedly, once Goku started getting stronger, actually were getting a little stronger themselves. Not by a lot, mind you, because Goku was clearly passing him in by leagues and bounds. But given the fact that Zarbon's full power when he transforms is around 28,000, Dodoria's is 20,000, Goku I put right around 40k. He's about as strong as, I want to say he's stronger than Raccoon, but not quite as strong as, say, Birder or Jace from the Ginyu Force. Granted, that's not including his transformation with his tail, which he still has here. One of the other things he has is the handy-dandy scouter. Let's see what this one says. His handy-dandy scouter, because he cannot sense energy in this version, nor does he have access to something like the Kamehameha. He has Energy Blast, sure, he can use his ki, but he does not have specific techniques, really. Although he might have at least picked up the Death Beam, or even a Death Ball from Frieza, who was more than willing to train him a little bit to help increase his power, and he's proven incredibly effective. He helps wipe out worlds. He does actually try to be a bit more peaceful and say, just leave this planet now. I can guarantee you we'll take it by force if we have to. We don't want to, but it's for your own good. Goku not realizing that he's been doing terrible things overall. Once in a while it works, and Frieza's actually impressed with his diplomacy. My word, you actually did a very good job, Kakarot. Normally I'd have to wipe out the entire planet, but here you were able to evacuate it, meaning that we may have future sellers down the road as well. You did well, my boy. It's like, of course, father. Meanwhile, back to what I said about Zarbon and Dodoria, they're Zarbon's maybe 32,000 when he's in full power, about 26 when he's not. Dodoria's maybe the same level as what Zarbon was. They have gotten stronger, but because they lack Saiyan physiology, it's not an amazing amount of strength. Meanwhile, though, what is his relationship to the other Saiyans? Because they probably haven't met too often. Because Goku we'll call him Goku here. I mean, he'll be referred to as Kakarot when it's in story, Goku when I'm just talking about him as a character. Because he's actually part of Frieza's elite guard, like Zarbon and Dodoria. And he's the strongest one among them. He does not probably interact with Frieza and Zarbon. Frieza and Frieza. He does not interact with the Saiyans very often. They do show up, and he is there when they've shown up, and they were shocked to see him. And this is Kakarot, my most loyal servants, indeed. Kakarot, is that you? I'm sorry. It's me, Kakarot, your brother, right? Oh, that's right. We never actually met face to face. I'm your brother, Kakarot. Raditz. It's like, wait, you're my brother? It's like, oh, I was unaware we're having a family reunion. I'm sorry. Please, it's not like we weren't talking about something important. Forgive me, Lord. No. It's all quite all right. Honestly, we were done here anyway. You did well. Go on. Kakarot, you should go and catch up with your brother. You've certainly earned it today as well. Thank you, Lord Frieza. And so it's like, wow, what? It's finally great to meet you. Isn't it? It's amazing we were able to survive the destruction of Planet Vegeta. You idiot! How could you be serving him such glee? Huh? What do you mean? He's the one who adopted me. After the planet blew up. You idiot! He's the one who blew up the planet. Don't you understand, Kakarot? He's the one. He's the one who destroyed everything we know of. And you can't. But you have an inside track. With you at his side, we might be able to. And all of a sudden, Kakarot just flares his keys. Boom! Blasts them back. He's like, you're. I don't care what you say. Frieza's been nothing but good to me. He helped make me as strong as I am now. I'm still getting stronger every day. Every day. I would never betray him. Ever. No matter what. I'll not hear anything about this. Because we're family, I'm gonna forgive this for now. But if I hear you bring this up again, I will bring it up to Frieza. And then there will be nothing to save you. Count on that. And he just kind of walks off. Meanwhile, every one of them are just like, what the hell? How strong is your brother, Raditz? I don't understand. He had below average power level when Father had him kept him in his what were they called? Birthing pods? When his father kept his power. You saw it, didn't you? The scouter nearly blew up from the instant he blasted us. His power even surpasses yours. And Vegeta's like, that bastard. Of course low class and of course it makes sense. I can't keep this thing on my face straight right now. Hold on. Of course it would make sense. He's been getting specific training directly from Frieza. It would only make sense that he was able to surpass us somehow. Damn him! It isn't over, no matter what. And so, I'm gonna finally just take this off. But this was crispy. I love this thing. Actually, you can honestly just get these things at you can get these at Spirit Halloween, believe it or not. Oh, actually, I know what the problem is. This thing is on too tight. 1 second here, and it's on. I think it's on as tight as it will go. That's right. The other way will be widening it. Anyway, so as time has passed, Goku, Kakarot's cooled down. Kakarot, come in. Would you join me in my chambers? Of course, Father. What is it? Ah, good. You see, we found a low-class planet. Not very nothing amazing in their technology, but good real estate nonetheless. Unfortunately, the simpletons there have been, and this would actually be. Weirdly enough, it would be a legit argument. They're poisoning the planet, Kakarot. And this is Frieza surprisingly not lying. Although we don't know what the state of the Dragon Ball Earth is in Dragon Ball compared to ours. If Frieza existed in real life and was trying to convince someone to conquer us, he'd make a very legit argument. Unless we needed to populate it with some sort of poison-breathing smog aliens of some kind. No, we need to protect this planet. It's pristine. Oceans, rivers, deserts, apparently. Desert, all sorts of environments and wildlife. We need to evacuate. We need to get rid of the current population of this planet, Kakarot. Otherwise, they're going to destroy it. And we wouldn't want that, would we? No, of course not. Of course not, Father. I'll go at once. Oh, that is my good boy. Now, go forth. And so Goku goes, and Frieza's just like, Oh, it's good to be me right now. And so Goku heads off to Earth, which we need now to backtrack because the Dragon Ball story still would have continued without Goku there. It just would have had a lot of drastic turns going on. So what is the state of the Dragon Ball Earth like right now? Well, let's start with what would have happened initially. Bulma did not find Goku. She did not run him over. In fact, she does probably ultimately make it to Son Gohan's house and meets him. She convinces him to give him his Dragon Ball. I bet he'd be even willing to go along with her because it's been quite boring and lonely at this place. It'd be nice to have some stories to tell Master Roshi at some point. And so he just, don't try anything, no, I wouldn't dare dream of it. No, oh God, oh, dear Lord, no, you're too young for me. It's like, what do you mean too young? It's like, no, that's not what I mean. I'm an old man. You're probably only in your teens. You're probably, it's like, oh. And so, yeah, and they go, and frankly, it's pretty smooth sailing because he would beat Yamcha in a heartbeat. So Yamcha is kind of a non-factor in this fight, actually. He doesn't even freeze up when he sees Bulma because there is no Bulma for, showing up and scaring him. They still probably would deal with Oolong as it is. Oolong still joins them. Boss for Carrot would not be an issue at all. Even if Bulma turns and says, you touch my hand, boop, turns into a carrot, goes like, I see it, just turn her back now. It's like, oh God, no. Which, by the way, Roshi did kill Boss Carrot because he was on the moon. Boss Carrot is dead. And so, yeah, and the Pilaf gang probably wouldn't even be that big of an issue. So Bulma would ironically be able to get her wish. Hell, she doesn't even have to suffer the indignation of her showing Roshi her panties. I'm sure Gohan would be able to convince her, Gohan would be able to convince Roshi to give the Dragon Ball to her. And so, yeah. That being said, when she wishes, now does she wish for the lifetime supply of strawberries or the perfect boyfriend? And what is the perfect boyfriend for her at that time? And could Shenron even do that, by the way? Yeah, you could give the world's most comfortable pair of underwear or immortality, stuff like that. But the problem is, like, the perfect boyfriend, that's a subjective term, depending on what your definition of the perfect boyfriend would be. So I don't know if he could do that. So let's say that he says, I cannot grant that wish. I do not know you personally, and I do not know what your tastes are in men. It's like, no, that's a good point. All right, lifetime supply of strawberries then. This would lead to another big change. There is no Goku in the martial arts tournament. I can't remember. Was Yamcha participating in the first one? I don't think he was, so maybe Yamcha decides to participate and he gets his teeth kicked in. Krillin is the only student of Roshi. So that means he's actually probably a little weaker here, or about the same, because he doesn't have the competition, but Roshi can focus entirely on him. So it's kind of a balancing act, but Roshi would ultimately win under the guise of Jackie Chun. The Red Ribbon Army would take over the world. Actually, no, that's not true. The Red Ribbon Army would not take over the world. Colonel Red, Silver? I can't remember the final guy's name. He would not... Actually, they would take over the world because no one is really challenging the Red Ribbon Army here. Which would lead to the fact that when the guy, he reveals he just wants to be he wants to be taller with the Dragon Balls. I can't remember the guy who shot him in the face. I can't remember a lot of it. There was silver, blue, black, I think. I can't remember a lot of them. But I know they were named for colors. And so he shoots them, and they take over the world of the Dragon Balls. Now, that said, that is short-lived once, not short-lived per se. Some functions actually stay the same. Like a lot of the world probably still functions the same. The Red Ribbon just rules the world until Piccolo is reawoken. It starts going ham, and the Red Ribbon try to fight him. Put up an okay fight because they are a world-spanning army, like a world-threatening army, but are ultimately defeated by King Piccolo, who does ultimately get the Dragon Balls, is failed to be sealed by Roshi, and is really just a destroyer of the world. Eventually, I think, here's what I think happens with the Piccolo thing, honestly. I think because you still have Gohan still alive here, which is a big thing here, Roshi and Tien, I think, by the way, you would still have Tien being a dick because now maybe you get like a Krillin Tien rivalry instead. But you would still get him being a dick because he doesn't have that growth that fighting Goku gives him. So he's still pretty much a dick, but he's still fighting for the greater good as well here. He's not an evil guy. He's just not a great guy. So you would have Tien, Shin, maybe, Roshi, and Gohan all probably knowing the Mappa. And I think eventually King Piccolo would get sealed back up. And if he's not sealed by it, but let's play a little devil's advocate here. Let's say he's not sealed back up. Kami was willing to put an end to him himself. But he wasn't doing anything as the whole time while King Piccolo was doing his thing. So I wonder if he would ever step up. King Piccolo, a lot of people are living in fear. Ultimately, though, it all changes up because people are living in fear. King Piccolo occasionally just destroys a random city. He knows he's not going to destroy everything because he needs a planet to rule, so he's not going to do that. And as the years go by, eventually, a Saiyan pod emerges. Kami, everyone who's still around who can fight and sense power levels senses this, and are like, "What is that? Holy crap!" King Piccolo's like, "What is that? What is that?" He just all of a sudden the ship lands and Kakarot steps out of the pod. Just like, all right here. So let's see, man, there are not a lot of strong powers on this planet. Wait a minute. And he just uses this scouter. Wait a minute, let me check something real quick. Wait a minute, he finds the strongest power on the planet, which, based on what we know about the power levels, is actually, weirdly enough, either Mr. Popo, or in this case, it would be King Piccolo because he's probably had time to grow in strength over a certain amount of time. Nothing amazing, and certainly nothing that can compete with 4,000 power, but still. Mr. Popo, though, hold on one second. Mr. Popo, power level. How strong is Mr. Popo? Mr. Popo has a power level stated to be about 300, yet he was actually able in the hyperbolic time chamber to keep up with Super Saiyan Goten and Trunks, and they're well into the millions on their power level. DBZA, Mr. Bridge, and Popo is a terrifying eldritch entity who is 100 times stronger than a Super Saiyan. He's basically the Zeno of the series. Send opponents flying with a single hit. Mr. Popo is as strong as a Super Saiyan. Goten and Trunks are both Super Saiyans and he fought them both. He was within the power of ×2 Super Saiyans, so that means Mr. Popo's strength is around a Super Saiyan. Look, that might be a little bit hyperbole because he was keeping them at bay. He wasn't really fighting them. We don't know what it would be like if he actually fought them. The question is, how the hell does Mr. Popo's strength actually work? Because that is a big inconsistency. Because if he was actually that strong legit, he could be taking care of things no problem on his own without issue. Yeah, that's an actual video to talk about. How strong really is Mr. Popo and why maybe he doesn't do more with his strength. Maybe it's because he's sworn like Kami did not interfere technically. Maybe he actually has an oath he can't break. But anyway, but the Garlic Jr. stuff is, I was about to say, Garlic Jr. came back and they sealed Mr. Popo, but that's not canon. So anyway, he goes up. So let's say he fights King Piccolo first. And he's looking out. Oh, hello there. My name is Kakarot. I'm come on behalf of Lord Frieza, Galactic Conqueror and real estate mogul. He's come to help liberate this planet due to the fact that you seem to not really be taking care of this. And we'll sell it to someone who can actually take care of the planet. Because, your planet is your home, and you only get one of those, unless you're me and get lucky. So, I'm going to give you one opportunity to vacate this planet ASAP, or things are going to have to get violent. And depending on who you are, I might want him to get violent, because Goku still likes to fight. Like, he's still a Saiyan. He loves to fight. That's it. You really think you can scare me? There's nothing you can do to threaten me, boy. And Goku, like Frieza, has learned to suppress his power to like the umpteenth degree. Like right now, he's only at maybe like 500 of his 4 grand. Because Frieza's base form is around 530 grand. His full power as of the Namek Saga was 120 million. If you do the math on that, that means 1% of his power is 1.2 million. Which means that's half of that, which means that's half of a percent of his own power. And he even said against Nail that he wasn't even using 1/10 of that. So Frieza, in terms of ki control and power control, is insane. Really, actually, truly insane. This is why when I haven't really done the power. I haven't done the power levels yet. When I try to calculate Beerus, I figured, okay, let's look at what Frieza was able to do and how he used this power, and let's assume that Beerus can go even way beyond that because he is a god of destruction. And so yeah, the Frieza Kakarot's like, last warning. Now, what would hypothetically King Piccolo's power level will be at this time, given all the time that's passed, but also given the fact that he probably hasn't necessarily been training per se, although he probably has been growing stronger. He probably does keep his power up, or at least consistent, if not getting a little stronger. And he's probably had individuals try to challenge him, and he's been like, I see, so is that the way it's going to be? I will not let anyone try to take my throne! And so maybe he's like 400 or 500 right now. And so Goku was suppressed to about 500. He's like, well, you're definitely the strongest individual on this planet, but you're not going to be any match for me. So last chance. Is that a fact? And he just, blasts him just with his energy. Just, sorry, that out kick because I just bought my elbow. And he just Goku just, boom. Yeah, that's a fact. Last chance. It's like, he just starts going at Goku. Because compared to key levels, it almost, you can perceive someone's speed as much slower. So instead of it being like really as fast as it looks, Goku's probably perceiving it like and you come on, kind of doing the bear stage, boom. Okay, well, I gave you, can't say I didn't warn you. Just boom, just blasting. Unfortunately, this has the very negative side effect of killing Kami as well. It's like, Kami, no! Piccolo was dead. And just fades away. And, his minions draw on tambourines like, all right, last chance. And just, blast him away. Well, I got rid of the strongest. Now I should probably go find, whoever leads this planet. And he just kind of goes, yeah, hey, who leads this planet? Oh, that would be the president of the... Well, technically, there is a president, king of the world, a president of the world. There is actually one in Dragon Ball. He just goes, all right, look, I need you to make an announcement to your planet. Apparently, hey, he just gets to say, hello, my name is Kakarot. I work for the mighty galactic overlord Frieza. He has come to acquisition your planet because you have not been taking proper care of it. We plan to sell it off to the highest bidder for someone who can take care of it much better than you have. However, we'll be giving away a galactic weeks period in order for you to vacate your planet to find suitable housing somewhere else. Thank you, and have a nice day. And we'll see you in a week. And so he flies off. And they're like, And so Goku basically tells it, Lord Frieza, Father, I have given them the ultimatum, a galactic week to leave. If not, we'll take care of it as such. Very good, Kakarot. We'll be there in about a week. And keep an eye on them and see if they don't comply, you know what to do. Indeed, Father. I'll see you then. All right, bye, son. And so, yeah. Goku about to screw the planet up. And look, there's no one on that planet who can do anything. The strongest ones have been dead for a while, and the new strongest ones weren't even up to King Piccolo standards. So what the hell are they going to do? Fortunately, Popo's like, Kami, no. And Popo's here in the suit. There must be something I can do, and he's looking for the remaining fighters who are around, which would still be Krillin and Yamcha, I think. Tien, sadly, is dead. Gohan is dead. Roshi is dead. Chaozu's also dead. We know that, too. Yamcha is definitely around, and I think Krillin managed to survive in this version. Even though Krillin was actually the first to go, the reason he died is because he went to go get Goku's power pole. So here, that's not what happens. He's still around. Other than that, though, there's not much else. You could say there's Mercenary Tao theoretically, if he's still around as well. He may have been very well killed off by, actually, he probably would have been killed off by Piccolo. He's smart, but he's also stubborn. So he probably could survive, but probably wouldn't have survived, I think. I think he would have been killed off. Anyway, that is the end of part 1. Join us again next week for part 2. Actually, is this the week of What If coming up? Yes, it is. It is the, no, is it the week of What If? I think this is the week of What If coming up. So we'll be back on Thursday. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you folks